Hey everyone, it's Nadia from liadiadesigns and I'm back with another tutorial. We have another quick one today and something a little festive with the holidays coming up. So I am once again using my gorgeous fantasy mold from Molds and Shapes. So you guys have seen me use this before. If not, you can go back through some of my tutorials, my previous videos, and I did a red set of these. Actually, I've done a red set, a green, and an orange. There's a few different sets that I've done, but the red set was really popular because I did my ultra glam technique where it was like half glitter and half of the pigment behind it showing. So it was a really nice abstract set. And again, this is one of my absolute favorite molds because the detailing on the edges and as well as not just the shape of the mold, but there's like detailing. I don't know if you can see in here, but there's actual detailing along each of the edges. So when you look at it from the side, it just has its own, intricate detailing there as well. So it's just this mold is just amazing. And I know a bunch of you have bought it and I hope you all love it as much as I do. So so I decided to use it for this project as well. I've already poured this resin, and again, as always, in my more recent videos, I'm going to include a little clip of that in one of the corners just to kind of show you that I just did a basic pour, nothing fancy. And but the color itself that you see here, it's kind of it's like a blush color, but it's a little bit, I guess, more on the pink side. So, and this is a custom color that I mixed. I literally mixed like 4 or 5 colors in order to get this this pigment color. So, and I did use mica powders just so in case you're wondering about that. But it is a custom mix that I have. So there's no specific color I can give you for that. But in any case, I wanted to show you an idea I had, and as I'm sure most of you who celebrate Christmas or any kind of holiday that where you're gift giving, you're probably wrapping a lot of presents right now. And I've been doing that with my kids this week, and we have a lot of scraps, a lot of these little leftover pieces that have just been kind of sitting around. And obviously some of them we can use to wrap smaller presents, but we're getting close to being finished. So I do have some pieces here that I wanted to use. And I thought it might be kind of neat to try it with resin to see how it would look on, a set of coasters under another coat of resin. So we have these 2 papers. And again, they're not especially thick. They're just kind of standard paper, but they do have a beautiful kind of metallic look to them. So we have this one, and I showed you the white one. So we have our snowflake one here, very pretty. So there's a couple of things you can do. Actually, I want to show you one thing first, and that is, I'm not going to be doing this technique today, but for those of you who are, just you're not too sure if you can do some of the techniques that I show here, just because maybe you don't feel that you have the level of artistic talent, or maybe you feel like maybe your hands are just not as steady as mine and you just would like something a little bit simpler, or maybe you want to do it with your kids and you need something that's more on their level. So there's another option here. I am going to show something else, but I want to quickly go over this, is you could also use cookie cutters, just to kind of give you, I know we talk a lot about stencils and things like that, but we also just could use cookie cutters like this and just use it to literally, trace around your cookie cutter, or even on the inside, trace around it, and that would give you a shape to cut out. And then you could literally take that shape and just stick it right onto your resin coaster in the same method that I'm going to show throughout this tutorial. But like I said, you could literally just go through and pick, areas of your wrapping paper that you like. Even if it was this one over here, you could just pick sections that you like and do that. And I have Christmas trees, so you could do something where you just kind of have maybe a really pretty Christmas. Oh, that one looks really cool, actually. How the branch of the tree kind of comes up in there. And then you have a branch. Same thing like here. Same idea. It almost looks like a decorated Christmas tree. So that's kind of neat. So you could do stuff like that. And like I said, I have lots of designs. I have stars, and I have, this one's going to be too big, I think. Oh, maybe it'll fit. I have gingerbread men, all different kinds. So if you do have cookie cutters and you think maybe that would be a neat way to do it, again, like I said, just grab some of your, pretty Christmas paper wrap. And I said these ones have a little bit of that metallic foil on it, so it's even nicer for that reason. And just, cut out some shapes and throw them onto your coasters. So So that's an idea I want to show. Like I said, I'm not going to go through that because I think that kind of is more self-explanatory just to kind of know how to do that. And like I said, that's just more of cutting out the shape. And then once you have your shapes cut out, the rest of the tutorial will apply for you. So, all right. So what I'm doing instead is I'm going back to kindergarten and I am cutting out snowflakes. So I have a few that I've already cut out. So I have this one and I have this one. And actually, I also even have this one. So I have these ones here. And then I did cut out some with this paper, the green paper as well. So I have a couple of those. I'm not gonna, obviously I've cut out more than I need, but I just want to show you guys. And I also have another set that I'm doing. I'm gonna actually do a set of flowers, kind of poinsettia-ish kind of style flowers as well. So I've cut out some stuff above here. So I'm gonna show you quickly how what I have for that. For those of you, I'm sure many of you know how to cut out snowflakes, so this is not going to be rocket science for any of you. And again, I wanted to create something, just kind of show you guys a simple idea that you can, maybe you want to do some last minute gifts for Christmas, or, you need a set for, your own table. This would be something you could do. And again, you could pick any color for the background to match your wrapping paper. I picked this pink because it actually is in both of these. It complements both of the wraps because there's a bit of pink in this one and this blush color and a bit in this one as well. So I picked that color because I knew it was going to complement both of the wraps that I'm trying to use. So, all right. So I'm going to just quickly get myself sorted out and I'll be back. Okay, so we'll go quickly through how to do a snowflake. If you are familiar and you don't need this little bit of the tutorial, feel free to fast forward. I just want to show those who may not be as familiar. So you need a square that is approximately, just so you know it's going to fit inside of your coaster. And then you're going to fold it into a triangle because you do want to get that perfect kind of square. And then I'm going to just trim off the edges so that we do get a square. So there we go. Now, how you fold it from here will determine if you get a 6-sided snowflake like this, or technically this would be considered an 8-cornered snowflake, but because the way I cut it, it ends up being more just because I didn't cut down as much. So that you can see this when I cut down more. So if I actually had, let's say, not put these pieces on here, those extra bits, the actual little pointy parts is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it would be 8. It would be an 8-sided snowflake. So you could, if you wanted to get something more, I mean, this looks really pretty on the coasters as well. So if you wanted something like that, just know that's an 8-pointed snowflake. And then if you wanted a 6-pointed, then it's like that. And the difference in how to fold it is, if you want 8, you'll be folding it in half, the triangle in half again, and once more, and then once again. So this way you would have, it would be something like that, right? And then you would cut out your design. I am going to show you how to do the 6-sided just because I think that's what I'm going to be using for the designs I'm doing today. And to do that, you want to get you need to kind of fold a little bit differently because you need to get 6 points. So you're going to just kind of fold it. You're going to have a corner like in the center point here. So you're going to have that. And then you're going to want to make it so that this edge lines up with this edge as neatly as possible, as closely as possible. So we end up with something like this. Okay, so you can see we'll have 1 side, 2 sides, 3 sides. Sorry, I'm not counting that right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's just open it up. Maybe that's better. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it shows that like that. And what we need to do is trim that down. So now we have kind of like a circle. And I never get this right the first time. So we'll open it and just kind of check. So circle-ish. It doesn't have to be an exact circle because we're going to be cutting out the shape, but that just gives you kind of the guideline of what you're working with here. So now that you have your circle, you fold it back up. And to create your snowflake, and I'm going to show the simple one that I did here just for the sake of the video. And what you want to do is you want to cut So you don't want to really disrupt the edges too much on these sides here. You're mostly going to cut your design through here and just cut in and out from any of the edges. You shouldn't be cutting out large sections of the edges. Otherwise, you may actually cut your snowflake in half. So we do it like that. So that's one kind of extender, and we'll go down along that edge. So we have that piece there. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, where I'm going to go down along the edge like so, and then cut a deep triangle into that, and then cut along that same parallel, and then down to about there. I'm going to get paper bits everywhere. So as you can see, that's what we have so far. Ooh, we got a reindeer. Yeah. So anyway, so we have that. And then to kind of make the middle bit, we want to have another bit of a design here. So normally what I do is I just kind of go in from another angle and just go in to meet where I kind of left that cutout. I'm going to do the same thing here, like so. And that wasn't great, but there we go. So now we have that. And in terms of finishing that off, I'm just going to cut bits. And you can cut this again from here. You can do whatever you like as long as you've left majority of the edge here. So I'm just going to cut in a little triangle. Oh, and I went way too far there, but try not to cut through it, because if you cut through it, then you can either tape it or glue it, but usually I end up starting over. So, and there we go. We have that. And then I just usually cut a little bit off the middle here. And I usually just go up because it's going to create a little star pattern. If I go up like this, you can cut it straight across, you know, like that if you want as well. And that will create like a little circle in the middle. But anyway, so that's kind of the shape that I generally make for my snowflakes. And then you just want to really carefully, again, because this is wrapping paper, so you want to be really careful in how you're opening it up. So we have that. And then here we go to open that up. So there we go. So sorry if there's any background noise. There might be people around kind of milling around the background there. So here we go. And that's our snowflake. Okay, so I add a little bit more detail to this one here, but so that's our snowflake for our white one. And I'm going to be using a green one for one of these as well. And okay, so for the other designs, actually I'll put these on the top so this way they're out of our way. There we go. And okay, so for the flowers, all I did is I took the same wrapping paper and I just cut myself some little petals like so, and just kind of a basic petal shape. And I did try to do some different sizes. So you have a few different, some larger ones and some smaller ones. And we're literally just going to put them around. We'll put the larger ones down first, like so. Like that. And there's, again, this is, because it's a flower, there's no real right or wrong here. We're just gonna try to see what we can do. And like that. And then we'll put a few of our small ones just on top of those larger ones. And then we have ourselves a little poinsettia. I'm actually going to trim this one down just because I think I need one more little guy. So I just trim that one down like that, and we'll put him there. All right, so that's one, and the same thing is going to happen with our green one. So I'll go ahead and do that in a quick time lapse, and I'll be back. Okay, so the green ones, the green ones don't really want to sit flat. So we will just worry about that when we have to glue everything down. So basically that's the next step here. We're going to be taking our DuraClear and I'm just going to put some, using the bottom of the cup. So I'm just going to put some of it here and literally just glue this down. So this is the DuraClear Gloss Varnish. And as always, guys, if you're looking for links for any of the products that I'm using or the brands that I'm using, look at well, there's a title screen at the end of this video, which kind of lists it. But if you're actually looking for links and discount codes, they're going to be in the description under the video, where it just kind of everything can be described and linked. And like I said, discount codes are included there. So you can feel free to browse that and see if you can find what you're looking for. So there's that. And I'm just going to be using my paintbrush to literally just paint these and glue them down. So we'll just do that. Okay, so again, we'll just go ahead into another time lapse and you guys can quickly see how this works. Okay, there we go. So this is got everything glued down. And if you wanted to, you could actually just kind of put a layer of the glue over top as well. So, but I don't think it's necessary for this, at least for my paper, but in my resin. But again, like I said, if you feel more comfortable, you can do that. Now, the last thing I'm going to do on these is I'm going to add a bit of glitter, of course. So we're going to add glitter around the edges of the snowflake ones and in the center of the flower ones. So I'm going to be using for the edges of the snowflake, I'm going to be using the pink opal from Let's Resin, and for the edges of the green snowflake one, I'm going to be using this either this silver or possibly there was another one. Let me just see if I can find it. This green, maybe the green, yeah. So we'll use the green. So we'll be using the pink and the green for the edges of those two. And the center of these, I have these little pieces, these little glass pieces from Counterculture. And I have it in this bronze color. So I'll put a couple pieces of this glass stone stuff in the middle here and a couple pieces of the chromium in the middle there. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and go and do that in a time lapse. Okay, so we're all done. I went ahead and added the glitter on the edges. I also added a little bit in the middle here. You can't see it as well in this one, but you can see in that one I added a bit of glitter. And then we have the centers of our flowers here. Still debating if I should add glitter on the edges. I'm not sure yet. So you may see that added if I decide to do that. So in any case, we'll let that dry. It's going to take a few hours and then we'll be ready to add our top coat. Okay, I'm back. It's been a few hours and everything is dry now. That's not staying down, but okay, so I just want to show you guys how they look. So we have that. So the green snowflake, you don't see the details as well in them, but they're there. And then we have our 2 poinsettia of flowers. There we go. So normally, and I thought about it, but then I changed my mind. So, you guys know how much I love my outliner. So I was kind of thinking that maybe I could add more details to the flowers with the outliner, but I might do that if I make these coasters again or another type of coaster similar to this. But for this tutorial, I want to show you guys kind of the simplest solution, for this design. So this way you don't feel obligated that you need all these extra things. Like really, it's even for the crystals in the middle, you wouldn't even need to have that if you don't want to, or if you just don't have access to them. You could just use regular glitter and put it in the middle. And that would be perfectly fine too. So I just kind of wanted to give you guys something really simple that, that you can make quickly and it's not going to take up a lot of time and a lot of resources and things like that. So yeah, so like I said, if I do these again or something similar, like I might have gone in and added more detail or even just some definition in the flower petals here, or maybe even outline the snowflakes. I don't know, who knows? I might have done something like that. But like I said, we're going to keep this one simple and we're going to go ahead now and get it top coated. And once I'll do a quick time-lapse video for you for that. And I probably will do a dome coat just because the dome coat looks really pretty on this mold, like the shape of the coasters as well. But I'll do that off camera, so then I'll show you guys everything at the end. If you want to see how the dome coat is done, and the same thing, I may not paint the edges on these just to kind of see how they look with clear edges. But if you want to know how I would normally paint edges, I'm going to link those videos either up above here or at the end of the video. There'll be some links at the end there as well. So this way, if you want to know some of those other techniques, I have them in a few different tutorials, so I'm sure you can find them, but I will link them as well. All right, so we're going to go off and top coat these with some resin, and then I'll show you guys the result when it's done. So it's the next morning and I have finished my top coat and also did a dome coat. So you can see, I don't know if you can see, but when the light shines on it, you can see that there's like a rounded edge, and that's from the dome coat. So those are done. So there's our pretty white poinsettia. And this is our sage green poinsettia. I like how it reflects the wrapping paper. It like reflects silver, which is kind of neat. So it doesn't just look green all the time. It just reflects, has another reflection for the silver as well. And then this is our sage snowflake with our glitter around the edges. I decided not to put glitter on these, and I think they worked out really nicely. And then these ones do have the glitter, which I think also works really nicely. So you have those options. And our white snowflake. Again, the metallic print on these, on the wrapping paper, is just so neat. It's kind of similar to the washi tape where the ones that are gilded and they have kind of that gold foil on them. So it's neat. And then we have the glitter, of course, that's reflecting as well. So all right, so those are our 4. And again, I decided not to, I might change my mind, but for now I'm going to leave the edges unpainted because I think it just has a neat effect. I mean, there is that layered effect in here as well, which is kind of neat. But you can see, I think, just look at the edges, like it has that kind of scalloped effect, and then there's the actual shape of the edges as well. So it's a little touch, but it just adds just so much to the piece. It just makes it look that much more elegant. So I really like how these turned out, and I really like this color. I decided that this color is frosted pink. Like I said, it is blush, but then I kind of made it a little bit more pink, but then it also has kind of like tones that kind of make it look icy as well, especially when you look at it in the light. So we're going to go with a frosted pink, which is perfect for winter, at least here in Canada. We're under snow right now. Anyway, so I'm going to go get some nice, pretty glamour shots of these beauties, and then yeah, we'll be all done with the tutorial. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial and that you found that maybe this is something that you might want to try. Maybe you have some wrapping paper that you have some scraps as well that you want to try and use and make. And you don't have to make snowflakes or flowers. You could make anything that you like out of it, and you can mix and match different types of wrapping paper to make different designs. And if you guys like this tutorial, let me know. If you want to see me do one where I do use an outliner to kind of outline the designs and see how that turns out, let me know that as well, because I definitely think I want to try it. As much as I really like how these turned out, how simple they are, I do want to see what we can do with some outliner as well, because that's my favorite thing to do. So anyways, guys, and don't forget to use my new hashtag. I have a new hashtag that I launched in my last video. It is hashtag LiaDia inspired me. So if you do decide to try any of my tutorials and you're on Instagram, feel free to use include the hashtag. You can tag me as well, but include the hashtag on your post. So this way, if I miss it and I don't actually see your post, or in the new year when I've decided I'm going to start featuring other fellow resin artists who are trying out my tutorials or using the techniques and creating their own designs with it or whatever they're doing. I'm going to pick a few every week, and I'm going to start featuring them in my story. So if you want to be included in that, use the hashtag, and this way I'll be checking that hashtag to find posts to include in the story. So anyways, again, I hope you guys liked this tutorial, and if you did, let me know in the comments which one of these are your favorites out of the designs that are here, which one would you be most likely to try. So anyways, guys, I don't know if I'm going to talk to you again for the holidays, but if I don't, I hope you guys all have a wonderfully safe and happy holiday, and I will see you soon. Take care. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.